And that breaking news, Sacramento Kings head coach Mike Brown has been let go. It comes after their game against the Pistons last night. They were up almost the entire game until the fourth quarter. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Brady Halbleib.
I'm Ashley Sharp. Right now, that's big news for the Beam team, and now the first day of a new era. Let's bring in Jake Gadon. Jake, what do we know about why Coach Brown was fired today?
Guys, a lot to digest here. We'll start with this. It's the team currently 13-8, currently on a 5-game losing streak, having lost an NBA high 13 clutch time games as tensions within the organization began to rise, leading to the firing of Mike Brown. This is the same guy that led the Kings to back-to-back winning records, snapped a 17-year playoff drought, earning NBA Coach of the Year in 2022. Brown finished with a 107-88 record and just signed a 3-year extension only 6 months ago in July. I was able to talk to Mike minutes before he was fired, and here's what he had to say on the mounting pressure of that 5-game losing skid.
And that's what I'm going to do, and I'm okay with anybody criticizing me because, again, I get paid to handle that. I get paid to get us through this. But whether it's anybody that's close, staff, players, friends, family, you know, you'll be able to tell who was on the who jumped off a little bit when we had some trying times, and you just always remember that as you go forward because you know who's truly in the foxhole with you and who's not. But at the end of the day, you best believe I'm gonna handle all the smoke, no matter where that smoke comes from, because that's what I'm paid to do.
Doug Christie, the current assistant coach and former NBA player for the Kings, has now been named interim head coach as the team now flies to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers in LA tomorrow night.
Yeah, big news, Jake. Big day for the Kings. And obviously, fans are going to be reacting in big ways, right? Letting go of head coach Mike Brown is sending shockwaves throughout the fandom, as you can imagine.
Yeah, and for more on how they're doing, we turn over to your reporter, Esteban Reynoso, live outside of the Golden One Center. Esteban, how are people feeling out there right now?
Brady, Ashley, a lot of fans still kind of questioning exactly why this happened. A lot of them grew to like head coach Mike Brown, especially during those playoff and play-in runs over his tenure as coach. Now, a lot of them say that losing another coach, having to find a new one, is kind of something that they don't like as a reputation for the organization of the Kings. A lot of them are still kind of scratching their heads, trying to figure out exactly why they have to find yet another coach. One fan, however, that we spoke with, he says that he's trying to see it from a logical standpoint and just wants his team to be better.
The first year we did so good, everything's going well. It's kind of easy to be a coach, right? We're winning games and stuff. When things get tough, I think it's when things, you know, the coach really kind of gets exposed. A lot of people had criticism over his rotations, which I can see.
Now, some fans do like this move. I've only been able to speak with one fan off camera who says that he doesn't mind the move as much. He's kind of asking what's all this hubbub around it. However, if there are fans that like them, we haven't really ran into any. But one fan did point this out to me. He says that after Mike Brown came in and coached this team and brought this new beam of hope for them and brought them to the playoffs, that they really grew to like the team. So without him as head coach, it feels like this is kind of the first bad season that they've had, and they really are just kind of wondering why, guys.
Yeah, it's been the highs and the lows for this team, that's for sure. Esteban, thank you. Now, as expected, fans are also taking to the internet to give their input on Mike Brown being let go. One fan commenting on a post on Twitter saying this: why nobody will ever take the Kings organization seriously, firing the coach of the year because the millionaire players aren't showing up.
And here's another one also saying something similar. NBA coaches really be getting used to as scapegoats. The GMs need to be held more accountable. It's all about roster construction and symmetry. How is that his fault?
And a third user here sharing the sentiment, saying Brown is the, quote, best coach Sacramento will ever have. We're going to keep Jake Gadon in studio for more on this news. Jake, walk us through how exactly the firing went down today.
Well, guys, this was a normal practice, normal availability for the Kings. We walked into practice today. The guys getting up their jump shots, their free throws. Mike Brown specifically going over to De'Aaron Fox, if we can show the video right there, talking about his post-game press conference that he had last night, saying, hey, you got to be accountable for some of your actions, even though that one play didn't cost you the game. Then he went over to DeMar DeRozan and Keegan Murray and talked with those guys about, what the game plan was here for in LA tonight. The interesting part after that, they brought DeMar over and Keegan over to talk to the media, then Mike Brown for 15 minutes. And then after that, 10 minutes later, Mike Brown got fired. I got to say, guys, this is one of the most unprofessional ways I've seen someone get fired in professional sports. How you can go from 15 minutes of talking to the media to getting fired 10 minutes later, it shows it's truly a players-only league. Unfortunately, now it's Doug Christie taking over. He'll be the 10th coach under Vivek Ranadive to lead this team. Mike, if you're listening to us right here, thank you so much for everything that you've done here in Sacramento. You were a steward on and off the court, treated us members of the media very well, something that the organization didn't do for you.
Yeah, and as you heard those fans say, you can't only blame the coach when the team is struggling.
Everyone's hands in the cookie jar, guys. This is coming from Monty McNair, Wes Wilcox, the players, Mike Brown. Everyone had a part of what went wrong this year, and we'll see if they can climb out of it somehow or another.
All right, we'll see, Jake. Thanks so much.